Hello everyone, welcome to my Invisalign Diary journey. Forgive the appearance, but I was filming my usual content, and I figured since I had my camera out, might as well do an Invisalign update. So I finished my first tray last Tuesday. So what is this, Saturday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm on my second tray for 4 days now. And I thought I'd give you a little the tips and tricks I learned and some updates. Like if you watched my first one, you'll know that I work from home. I'm high risk. I don't leave the house that often. So I figured I'd be a good crash test dummy to do things like drink coffee and see if it would actually stain my Invisalign or whatever. So anyways, happy to report that it didn't quite stain, but disclaimer, I do have an ultrasonic cleaner. So what I experienced so far is, and everybody's experience is different, but I don't find it painful at all with the Invisaligns. If anything, the first maybe 4 days, I wanted to rip them out of my face just because you could feel something in your mouth and it's a foreign object. And so I just didn't want to wear them, all day long, but I kept them in because I want straight teeth. So anyways, yeah, I just felt it was uncomfortable. If anything, on the first set of trays, the only time it hurt was taking them out and putting them on for like maybe the first 4 days. And after that, I don't know if my teeth just moved fast, but I was just popping them off and on, and it didn't even feel like it was moving or anything or tight after like 3 or 4 days. And then on the second set of trays, the same thing, except for it didn't hurt to take them off and on. It just felt uncomfortable when they were off. And I think it's because my teeth were moving again. And so they may have been a little loose. So, like chewing and stuff like that was like a little uncomfortable. So I was actually looking forward to putting them back on. So, everything was in its place. There was that. And then as far as any other discomfort, the bottom set on this side, the dentist said that if there's any like sharp parts or sharp edges, you can take a file and just file it down. And I did have like a sore developing on the bottom part of my tongue on that end. So I tried doing the filing thing, but there was like, it wasn't even a sharp part. It was like a little, I don't think you could see on this, but there's actually like a little notch, and that's what was cutting. So I tried the dental wax. And what I would do is, like each one is like a little tiny square. You don't even need the whole square because it's not like metal braces. But I just took like a third of one of the squares, and I smashed it really as thin as I could in my finger first. And I tried doing it while it was in my mouth, and it doesn't work because it'll just fall off inside your mouth, which is yucky. But what I would do is like I would press it on the outside halfway and then fold it over, and then press it so that it was kind of like molded kind of over on both sides, and that's what kept it on, and then put them in. And then when it's inside, I would reach in and flatten it again as flat as I could so that it wouldn't mess up like the aligners. And I noticed with the second set of trays in the exact same spot, there's an issue again. And it wasn't something I could file down. Like say this is my teeth, and it was kind of like sticking out like this. It was like a gap. So it was rubbing on my tongue again. So I immediately popped them out, put the dental wax on there, pressed it down, and I haven't had any issues with cuts or blisters or anything in my gum or teeth with this. So I would highly recommend getting some dental wax. The other thing is, I don't know, maybe everybody's teeth is different. My mouth is really small, my teeth are small, but I found a regular toothbrush really didn't do the job. So I got this. Well, I used them with my regular toothbrush anyways my whole life because I had really crooked bottom teeth and I needed something smaller to get them in there. And this was something one of my dentists from a long time ago told me to start using. I don't know what they're really called, but I bought a whole package. It says Tough Tooth on here, dental cleaning. But I found them on Amazon, a whole bunch of them. So I can't, it's hard to find them in the regular stores like CVS or whatever your drugstores are, grocery stores. But I did find a whole bunch of them on Amazon. But it really gets into like the grooves and where your buttons are. It can get up in the button parts and really like clean up in there. So speaking of cleaning, I am intermittent fasting because I don't exercise as much as I used to. Anyways, and you know, I don't have to leave the house to go to work. I basically roll out of bed and go to my home office. So I only eat twice a day, which makes it easier to stick to 22 hours of wearing a day. And because I do work from home, I don't pop them off and brush my teeth first thing in the morning. I wait until my first meal because I don't want to have to take them off and on and if I don't have to. But when I take them off and eat the first time, you know, after I do my brushing routine, I'll take some mouthwash. I guess you could use soap, but you're not supposed to use toothpaste because of the grittiness. I guess it'll scratch it. So the idea of just using hand soap or something, because I use hand soaps with lotion and stuff, didn't sit right with me. So I take mouthwash and I just pour it inside the tray, and then I just really get in there with this brush and scrub all the way around, rinse it off really good before I pop it back in. The dinner routine, or after dinner, my last time I take them out, I run them in this ultrasonic cleaner, which I would recommend if you're going to be doing stuff like drinking coffee all day like I do, because I found that I could drink coffee through a straw and stuff without it really staining. I haven't, nor will I probably try drinking red wine though, because that really stains. But this runs for about 5 minutes, so I just drop one of these tabs. You only need a half a tab, so these little boxes will last a long time. So half a tab in there, you push the button, and it runs for 5 minutes. And while it's running, I brush, I floss, and then when it comes out, I make sure that the fluid is still sitting inside. So I stick it like this, and then when I pull it out, it still has like the cleaning liquid in it. And then I do like the same thing when I have mouthwash in there. I just scrub it while the liquid's in there to really clean it. I don't know if you could tell, I drink coffee every day, and with the ultrasonic cleaner, it stays pretty clear. It's not really stained or anything like that. And I don't recommend though drinking hot coffee because it is plastic and it'll melt. So I wait till my coffee gets about lukewarm, and then I drink it through a straw so that it goes to the back of my gums and doesn't like hit the front of my teeth, just in case. And I usually do hot coffee or lukewarm coffee in the morning, and then I switch to like cold brew in the afternoon. I'll drink iced tea and then of course water and stuff. And then I like a good glass of red wine. So if I want a glass of red wine with my dinner, I will drink the red wine while they're out. And on the weekend, if I want a second glass of wine, because I don't down my wine, I kind of sip at it. So usually I do half an hour out for lunch plus an extra 5 minutes for all the brushing. And then in the evening, I do about 45 minutes so I could just relax and not rush through my dinner. And an extra 5 minutes for the brushing. If it's the weekend and I want to have a little bit more wine, I will switch to white wine, which is not my favorite. I prefer red wine, but obviously I think red wine is going to be a higher risk of staining. So I just drink a nice dry white, because the dry won't give me a headache like regular sweet white wines do, which is why I prefer red. But I'll drink white wine, and obviously the white wine's not going to stain. So yeah, I'll have that on the weekends. I have a very small mouth, so it was really hard for me to get my hands in there to pull the trays out. And I can't do it from the front because I have, my mouth was so crowded. I have lots of buttons. I have like 10 buttons in my mouth. So I bought this aligner removal tool. It's called Pull, and it looks like this. It's like a little hook. And you're supposed to pop them off on both sides, reach in, and then start pulling it like this. But I can't, my mouth is small. I can't get like 2 sets of hands in my mouth. So what I'll do is reach in. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to take my retainer out, or Invisalign out. But I pop it out on one side, I reach in, and then I slowly just start pulling it out like this. And then I do the same thing on the bottom. I pull one side out, and I'm right-handed, so I always pull this side out. And then I just pull it out little by little all the way around, and I haven't had a problem with them damaging my Invisalign. So I highly recommend this tool. It makes it super easy. And not only that, the hygienist was like, no more pretty nails for you because you won't be able to pull them out. And I just wear press-ons because I don't like to commit to long nails, because I also play guitar sometimes. And if you're familiar or have been to my page, you'll see I do a lot of character skits, and my characters all don't have pretty nails. So when I'm doing something like today, I'm just filming flow arts content, so I can have pretty nails this weekend. And so when I can, I do my nails, and I don't have to worry about them popping off trying to get my retainers out. I couldn't do it even without these, with just my regular nails, because like I said, I can't reach inside of my mouth. My mouth is too small, and I can't pull them out from the front because of all the buttons. So I highly recommend this tool. Only got like a couple of these with my trays, and they said they're not going to give me any more. And the thought of chewing on the same little, I forget what this thing is called, but Chewies, I think, you know, you have to chew on these when you put them in, just to make sure that your Invisaligns are really set in place. The thought of just chewing on this for like 18 months or 2, I already threw one of them away. It just kind of grosses me out. So I bought a bunch of them from Amazon so that I could just switch them out every time I switch a tray. And last but not least, and I'm not endorsed by this app, but if you're like me, out of sight, out of mind is a thing for you. Like, I could eat dinner and just completely forget that I had them out, and just, I'll have them out for the rest of the night. So I wanted something, and I'd want to just like set my, you could, I guess, set your alarm, you know, on your phone, but I also wanted something that I could really track without like taking notes of how long I've had it in. Like, if I had it out for 35 minutes today, at lunch, and 45 minutes, I didn't want to have to keep writing it down. So I found this really cool app. It's called Tray Minder. And I don't know what it would be called on iPhone. I have an Android. But it's really cool. You set, when you first open it up, you set it up for how many trays that you have, how many days that you wear each tray, and what time you want to change your tray. So I have it set to change at 10 o'clock at night, which I highly recommend, because that was the only really discomfort I feel. Not really pain, it's just like really tight when you change your trays, and so you sleep most of it off, and in the morning I was fine. So anyways, it's really cool. It tells you how long you've had it on for the day, and then when you take your trays out, you just push this little button, and then it'll ask how long do you want it out for, you know, so that it'll give you an alarm. And I do 30 minutes for lunch and 45 minutes for dinner. And then, and of course, the extra 5 minutes for cleaning, like I mentioned. And then when you pop them back in, you push the button again, and it'll tell you how long you've had it on for the day and how long it's been out. So today I only had them out for 39 minutes. I took Saturday, took a few extra minutes for breakfast. And the other thing I like is if you go to the little calendar, it tells you how many days or what days you're going to be switching. It's got a little photo thing, so I did the photos at the beginning of each tray. So I have like number 1, that's what my mouth looked like. Number 2, so it was like the end of the first tray, beginning of the second tray, that's what my mouth looked like. So you can have like a little visual recording of your process. And then there's another, it tells you right here how many hours you had it per day, or you could do it by week or by month, which will be good because I can go to the dentist and say, CC, 22 plus hours per day. And then there's another little icon where it has like videos you can watch. Some of them I think are just YouTubers, and then some I think is like the Invisalign hygienist or whatever. She's got little tips and tricks in there as well. But yeah, Tray Minder. I found this really helpful, so I hope that's a good tip for you. I think I pretty much covered everything. Like I said, I've been drinking coffee and tea, and I haven't had a problem with it like super staining. I would say towards the end of the 14 days, if I like hold it up to the light, I might see a few spots in there, but for the most part, I think that ultrasonic cleaner has really like helped keep these trays pretty clean so that I can still drink my coffee and my tea along with my water for the day. So I hope that was helpful. I probably won't do another update because I don't know how much more will change in my experience or any more tips I could provide until after I go to the dentist, which my appointment I think is in May. They give you like 3 or 4 trays, I think, every time you go. So my appointment's beginning of May, and then I'll probably do another update at that point. I'll just take notes of any other things that I've noticed or tips or anything that I could recommend. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment. Maybe I can answer some questions on the next one. But yeah, so far so good. Not uncomfortable at all. I'm having a really easy time. Like I said, everybody's experience is different. This is mine. So if you want to follow along with the journey, like and subscribe. And I will be back around May with another update once I get my new set of trays. Peace.